Welcome back. Sorry for those who were just tuning in. Had to stream cut out there for a sec. For those who were watching, we did win that game. So we're back. This is going to just be a full clip of the Boros Affinity, Boros Artifact Aggro deck. Thanks to Wizards for sponsoring the stream this week. We are the featured content creator. So we'll be giving away a bunch of arena codes probably over the course of today over YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, wherever people follow me. So we'll be sending those out for Throne of Eldraine packs. So the deck itself, what we are trying to do is overwhelm the board with cheap artifacts. Gingerbrute is pseudo-unblockable. Inquisitive Puppet, Locthwain Gargoyle, Chamber Sentry, and Stonecoil Serpent, Stone Cold Steve Austin Serpent. And then play Steel Overseer, put counters on our whole team, and then make them really big. And then we have a combination of all that glitters and Embercleave to kind of have these little dorky creatures become massive threats, smash the opponent to death. Experimental Frenzy lets us replay our deck after we pump everything out. Hushbringer really punishes a lot of the enter the battlefield style decks. In the game that kind of cut out there, we were playing against Menguchi's Simic Ramp deck, and it turns off Risen Reef, turns off Cavalier, turns off Frilled Mystic. There's so many cards that it'll turn off. Cat Oven doesn't work because it'll shut off the enter the battlefield there. And then Passivism is a card that it worked out in the game that we played. Still deciding if I want this or Bonecrusher Giant in the deck. It works well in terms of synergy with all that glitters, but it's not really creature removal. It's really creature get out of the way. So they can still, if they have passive effects, still work. Mana base wise, we're playing a lot of colorless lands. Cryptic Caves draws us a card. Karn's Bastion makes our counters bigger on our creatures. Mobilized District is a creature land. Then we have a couple castles to make tokens, and then Castle Embereth to pump our team. Only one entered the battlefield, tap line technically. However, these castles have been coming into play tapped, so we'll see. We might need to tweak the mana base. Sideboard wise was a quick sideboard that we threw together last minute. We have Giant's Killer versus the big stuff, and also can tap things out of the way. Devout Decree versus red and black. Disenchant versus fires, foods, stuff like that. Fry versus Teferi's and friends. Prison Realm versus catch-all removal. Chandra versus control decks as a creature, constant stream of creatures. Tibalt versus Hydroid Krasis decks, things with life gain. And another Frenzy versus the kind of more grind them out games. Now let's play some games. So we took that one down. For those who were tuning in before we cut out, it was an all-out attack. We had a 10-10, all that glittered up unblockable Gingerbrute, to which they had the Naturalize. So we actually had to play out another turn where they Voracious Hydra'd one of our Steel Overseers, second Steel Overseer, pumped the team with the Karn's Bastion, and Exactseed them. So we actually went up to Platinum 3. We've been ranking up, surprisingly, with these brews, which I'm happy for. The Big Red Chandra control deck, Big Red, mid-range, whatever you want to call it, is up on YouTube right now if you missed that video from earlier today. The Black-Red Aggro will also be up. Black-White Life Gain Aggro will be up later today as well, and then I'll paste the other ones throughout the week. I don't think we're getting better than this. Locthwain is the worst. Actually, Chamber Sentry, and this is why we're playing 3. It won't actually be able to something we can cast off the Cryptic Cave. Oh, this is our worst matchup. Oh, we are so dead. So dead. It turns out a deck that plays 3 to 4 Clarions and Time Wipe along with Teferi's and then 5 power creatures is not good against the deck with 1 mana O2s. I do like Inquisitive Puppet because you can fizzle stuff like if they try to bounce with Teferi. It has the Scry also that fixes our draw, so you can block. So that's the theme of today. We're bad against fires because we're playing little interaction. I can build if we want to be good against fires, play counter spells. Wait till the next deck. We'll play Dimir Tempo. Good against fires. It's a deck of counter spells and bounce and hard removal. Look, when the Inquisitive Puppet beats down. Okay. Got there. I want to get this out of the range of Clarion, I think. No, I think we do this turn. Also, not drawing red mana kind of sucks with this hand. So the thing is, they can't target it with Teferi. This also shouldn't die from Clarion. Oh, you know what? That's bad. They have Stomp here. Yeah, that was dumb. Because they Stomp, it defeats the purpose. Do I just concede here? And then go to sideboard? I don't think I can beat this deck with this hand. Missing land drops, no Overseer for the turn. Because like this comes down and I'm just hitting him for 2 a turn, but then they just like fires and Sphinx of Foresight. See if Teferi comes. But like I don't even think Embercleave does much here. I'm not coming back to this one. I don't want to show him that we have red mana. Okay, so Giant Killer in this matchup's good. Devout Decree's good. Disenchant's good. Basically this. Jeez, that's a lot of cards. So Hushbringer is interesting because it stops the Cavaliers, but they have so much removal and like board wipes that I don't think it's that good. Embercleave, we're gonna cut down 1. Gonna get rid of the Chamber Sentries because they can't get big enough. All that glitters is pretty much the only way we can win. Passivism can come out, and I think we go from there. Because the thing is, passivism, they could bounce it with Teferi when needed. I'm cutting down on these because if they have Teferi out, which we can't always kill, you can't flash it in with the attack. Let's run it like that. I don't want to play against fires with this deck. And we're naturally only going to play against... we'll go here. What's with these hands? Okay, so we put back all that glitters. Leading on this, just again, they don't know we have colors in our deck. Keeping this hand solely based on Frenzy for the time being. Might add another land after this game. Cut down a passivism, put to... Okay, so I'm going to lead with this, only because we want it to have haste. Obviously, if they have Bonecrusher, it hurts here. Okay, so no Bonecrusher this turn. Yeah, not the worst, but if they go into Clarion here, kind of sucks. Actually, this will survive a Clarion. Dodge Clarion for a turn. Let's dodge Clarion. So I've actually like Cryptic Caves in the deck. If you ever flood out, it's just you sack to draw a land. Draw a card. Let's see what Teferi bounces here. My guess, Overseer. If they bounce Puppet, I'm going to sack it so they don't draw a card. If they plus up, then I just fry it and attack into them. Opponent's thinking about this one. Probably the right play. Basically puts us 2 turns behind. I feel like they play Clarion that turn if they had it. So unless they draw it. Drawing a land here, like we probably go Frenzy still. Just for the card advantage. And then if they ever bounce it with Tef, we just have Fry to come down. Okay, so they get fires. Equal to its power. So they paid 4 mana to deal 1 with one of our creatures. Deck! Why no white? Okay, I gotta tweak this mana base a bit. That was a perfect window for Disenchant, because now they probably have like double Cavalier and I can't win from here. Yeah. Because the problem is, even if I get white, I take out 1 Cavalier. But they're getting haste and stuff. Okay, so let's tweak this up. It's a horrendous matchup. How many lands? I'm probably super... Okay, let's go 22 lands. Get rid of these. Play these. Play... Take out a Passivism. Play a Mountain. Play Bonecrusher. Okay, let's try this out. Not crazy about the temples, but I think with us just having this reliance on some form of color, it makes sense. Let's try that out. See how it goes. Take it from there. Alright, play first. We've already come out ahead. This hand's pretty sweet. Cues into fire, cries. Come on, opponent. There was a consideration I had for this deck being green-white, because then you could play like a Johnny, and then Gilded Goose creating food actually powers up the puppet. So we will play Inquisitive Puppet first, Scry. Do I want to land? I actually think the lines here is okay. Because I want to get these stone coils pretty large. And then take it from there. Okay, so these stone coils not having protection now from these multicolors a little annoying. Actually, you're worse because you can't get bigger. So let's play you out first. The actual cool thing here is we can block and then sack. And then take it from there. Okay, actually that's not bad then, if they have the Stormfist build. Karn's Bastion comes down, so we can get these big, and this drawing us cards is going to be nice. No attacks here. This matchup's definitely going to be whoever draws Embercleave first. Also, how we can defend against Rotting Regisar. Like if they drop Roddy Too Hottie next turn. Spawn is a card. So I could remove 2 counters off this to get rid of Knight of Eben Legion. Which I think we do. Just taking this off because it gets quite large. And then just going from here. Like we can't ever play Chamber from the graveyard. Ooh, Steel Overseer's nice. Okay, so they have Rotting Regisar. So they can have Embercleave and win next turn, which is a bit frightening. I don't know if they realize that this has reach. Ooh, okay, so can I just like kill them? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. Okay, you. So you're adding right now 5. Yeah, I think we go for it. That's 13. $15. They have to block, so unless they have a land and Embercleave, which we can probably soak up some, if not all. Okay, so they don't have the Embercleave win, which is nice. It's amazing what our deck can do when we have lands out. Alright, sweet. So Giant Killer comes in, Devout Decree comes in, Prison Realm comes in. Bonecrusher, probably want to stay in. Prison Realm's good. Hushbringer doesn't do anything. 3 cards to cut. Do we want the Disenchants? Probably not. It's a little narrow. Control their board. Can probably cut down a Frenzy. They're going to give us some indirect card draw. They'll have more removal. Like, so they don't have, they do have haste. But Gingerbrute's a way we could kind of steal some wins. Locthwain isn't bad, but probably the worst. Chamber was okay that game. So probably Chamber over Locthwain and go from there. The only thing I like about Locthwain is an 0-3, so it blocks well early. But let's run it like that. see how we go about this one. Frenzy over Forge, because Frenzy doesn't care. We have a bunch of non artifacts, so colored spells, so that way we can play those. Forge has to be specific to colorless spells, so I don't think we can keep this hand. Yeah, let's keep this hand. I'm greedy. Because we have stuff like Devout Decree, Hushbringer, various types of removal. Oh, shit. You don't have haste. I forgot you have to pay mana. You can tell it's like hour 4 of streaming. The brain, she no work. Ah, that sucked. That was throwaway. So I could go Chamber Sentry this turn for 2. That was dumb. Opponent's going pretty aggressive. Why did you... I don't know. The stupid auto tapper didn't pay 2, so it's supposed to be a counter for each color mana. So I wanted it to have 2 mana on it. Yeah, this game's kind of a wash. I just want to see what sideboard stuff they brought in, if anything. The line makes a bit more sense with Order of Midnight. So we have Devout Decree, like we can start taking out some stuff, but I think we just accept the punt this game. Do I want the Tibalts? They don't really gain life, but Tibalt can't really block. Yeah, probably not. Because they don't really have a lot of 1 toughness stuff. Order Midnight's a 2/2. That one's just a culmination of my punt, arena punt, all punt. Yeah, I would just think, like, if you're naturally paying 2 into an ability that's color specific and you have the 2 colors in, so I'm just gonna have to hard, like, pay, like, manually tap the mana this for it. Because that play would have been different, because then I have a 2 power, I can block the Reverend Knight and then tap to kill the champion. We keep this hand. Scry on 1. Probably Overseer on 2, Bonecrusher on 3. What we're going to be scrying away are lands. I have my 1 white and my double red, so I have Embercleave mana up. This is also a good block against, like, Knight of Eben. No Knight there is actually pretty solid. Opponents had Knight. You're telling me nobody's playing Constructed All-Star Chamber Sentry? So if we could dodge a turn with, like, no Bonecrusher, it'd be good here. Ah, we asked for it. We couldn't get it. My guess is Bonecrusher's the play this turn. So the thing is, like, I can just start attacking in the air with this, paying 4 mana each turn, but it feels kind of loose. I think we just pass the turn. It's the only problem. Like, I wish there was a little bit more aggressive slanted 1-drops. Like, having O3s and O2s aren't the best. Yeah, but what I was planning on doing with the Crusher was shock them, play Crusher, and then enchant it. So although this draws us cards, I think taking that out just plays well to our curve. Yeah, Rudy's in the house. We're playing Is It in Soul Artifact now. Next turn I could still make it unblockable. They can't cast the Swift End. Gingerbrute is a food. Oh no, Legion's End. No! Yeah, you can sack Legion's End as food. So it works with Oven. That's food, and the 2-mana egg that you play in Golden Egg, whatever it's called in the Esper Stacks deck, is also a food. So we had the mana up, we could have actually stopped that. So this is probably going to be for the Bonecrusher Giant, and then just attacking for 4. I can start pumping into this with Knight of Eben. Ooh, Bonecrusher's nice. So I'm not going to attack this turn. I'm going to throw the block so they can Embercleave this turn. So that's something we need to be mindful of. I throw the block in front of Knight of Eben Legion. They flash in Embercleave, likely targeting Knight. If that's the only attack, then I'm happy. I should have juked them and just pumped this and gave it flying. If that's their turn next turn, we're going to do that. Because the problem is if they pass... Alright, opponent juked us. So what I can do here... I can prison... Actually, yeah, Paragon's a good call. For them not to commit to the board. Need a Frenzy. Okay, so they didn't play that. The nice thing is there's still 2 black mana off of drawing from Castle. Experimental Frenzy off the top would be nice. doing this because this entices them to pump the mana into it. Otherwise it dies. So they have to prioritize to see if they want to commit to the board this turn or not. So Cryptic Cave here. I'm just going to end up cycling it on end step to draw a card. This is like the slowest our deck can run. Post board we lose a little bit of explosion for actual answers. Fervent Champion. So they can choose to sacrifice this. To get in an extra point of damage. It's the Order of Midnight Locthwain Gargoyle. I'm gonna catch him with that. There's that turn we should have done it, I feel like. Hardcast Murderous Rider. Sure thing. So we're just gonna sack this, draw a card. Giant Killer. Stonecoil's good. So I'm just gonna attack for 4. If they want to gain some life, they can. That's fine. It's 2-for-1 trade here. So what I'm going to do is hold this if they have Regisaur. If not, when they attack with Order of Midnight, I'm going to Gargoyle. And then next turn we have 6 mana into a Stonecoil that we can start proliferating. That works out. You gonna attack in? Here's my Giant Killer. So they did read Locthwain. So I'm actually going to get Giant Killer going just because we can start tapping down their creatures, which can help with the combat math. They have shown Legion's End, so it is a clean answer to Stonecoil. This is one of the few decks that doesn't really have a clear weakness to Stonecoil Serpent. Yeah. So I feel like their hand's like all situational removal. You can attack for 2. You get your spawn back. Just play out the mana. Interesting. I'm probably gonna pop this, depending on how they play out, just so I can start getting another attacker in. Yeah, I guess they're trying to close out the game. It's a weird note. Well, I guess they have to respect a boy. Oh, I forgot to pop that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep this open so we can tap down the spawn. We have the blocker here. I can't believe Locthwain Gargoyle is what's holding us in this game. Opponent gives us the GG and we take it. Quite a showing indeed. Can't believe like this deck is the one that's winning. I'm just gonna give Arena a quick reset and we'll fire up another game. For those tuning in for the first time, I'm MTG Joe. We play a whole bunch of stuff on the channel, from tier 1 to brews. In the past I've done a lot of budget build series where we take like as cheap as possible deck and then over 3 iterations build it up to a tier deck. I'll start that again when Theros comes out. I've noticed that the pool of cards is a little narrow, so it's hard for some budget considerations, especially just with how Throne of All Drain's density of good cards is in the rare and mythic spot. But what we're doing today is, thanks to Wizards sponsoring, doing a whole bunch of off-meta decks, kind of brews. So this is a Boros Affinity artifact aggro. So using a bunch of cheap artifacts, stuff like Stonecoil Serpent and Gingerbrute are the 2 best ones. Put counters on them with Steel Overseer. All that glitters up them. Unblockable, Trample, throw on an Embercleave, and then you got Frenzy to just kind of push you the rest of the way through. And then sideboard-wise is just a bunch of kind of situationally good cards to kind of hedge matchups. So we've actually gone 2-1 with the deck. We'll run it for 1 to 2 more games. Usually try to get about an hour of each deck. Earlier today we did play a Big Red Chandra deck, Big Red Control. That's up on YouTube right now if you missed it. We also played a Black-White Life Gain Aggro, which the last game against Esper Stacks was hilarious, I would say at least. His hand's probably got 1 too many lands for my liking, but I wish there was a good luck, like, kind of message for them. Yeah, so the only reason I was considering blue as well, blue-white, because Emery lets you cast a lot of stuff. You have to play, like, all that glitters is the best card to kind of help out. So stomp me, bro. Stomp me. I still can't tell if fires. Like maybe our... Okay, so I think our opponent is sophisticated like us in playing red-white creatures. Stomp's actually interesting here. I want to race them life-wise. If they play something stupid like in small, we can go from there. The advanced scouting is out. That's not cool. That is not cool. Just all the lands. Can I beat Aurelia? With this hand as it is, probably not. Yeah, that's a good call. Chuck Beardo. They don't. You know what, I just need to... This is a race. Because the thing is with Aurelia now, they can give it lifelink. Oh no. No lifelink. Okay. So we might still be okay here. Tajik. Mentor. You get what? First strike till end of turn? So block, and then we're gonna sack here. I need like Experimental Frenzy. So the problem is this goes to 4. See if they block. It's just to gain us 4 life. It basically nullifies what Aurelia is doing this turn. And then I'm just going to throw this into front of the Tajik. Oh, but they get trample. Ew. Oh no, but they put the trample here. I actually think the trample is probably better on Tajik there. You get through more damage. Oh, if they have cleave, I'm dead. I can't beat a cleave from this position. Why? This is a Devout Decree matchup. Alright, so opponent's flexing on us. Oh no, no Chandra. So fries are good. Giant Killers are good. Devout Decree is good. Fry does 5 damage, so we need to be aware of this with thing out. Tibalt's interesting, but I don't think good enough. Embercleave is the way we win for sure. Giant Killer's interesting. The Hushbringer, it worked in that game, but I don't think, relatively speaking, it's that good. They don't really have enter the battlefield style effects. Probably... They have haste with Tajik. So probably just like a Chamber Sentry. Embercleave's the way we win, but maybe shave an Embercleave. Feel like we're going to be doing more trading early. 4 cards, 4 cards, 4 cards. Gargoyle. Gargoyle probably. Just do it like that. Straight YOLO. Or maybe put up another... No. Probably another one of these. Cut down an Embercleave. Run like that. The problem is they're aggressive as well, but just like slightly higher on curve. My wife's a good woman. She's just like, you want coffee? Alright, play first. We know what we're up against. Yeah. Keep. If they don't have Bonecrusher and we can get some untaps, then we're in a good spot. No lands. No lands, no lands, no lands. So we want to save this when we can get it above 3, preferably. Okay, so they have the Justice Strike. Kind of annoying. Don't particularly want to all that glitters just yet. You know, if they spend their whole turn stomping, it doesn't commit anymore to the board. If we could untap and all that glitters on this, it starts getting quite large. It does have protection from the Justice Strike as well and most of their creatures. No stomp, no stomp, no stomp. Tithe Taker is fine. You can have a Tithe Taker. So this is where it's going to get interesting. They got the Giant's Killer. Oh, you know what's funny? If we were 1 less power, I could have sacked this. But they had the Giant's Killer, so they get us there. So I'm actually going to trade here. It turns on our Giant's Killer. Five mana. What do you come in with 5 mana? Legion Warbos. We are likely dead. I am just gonna admit defeat to our fellow Boros player. We're not gonna come back because like we're basically playing 1 spell per turn to clean up their board, but they're left behind with tokens and stuff. Let's run 1 more quick. I legitimately haven't seen another Boros deck probably 2 to 3 weeks, if not more. There was 1 Boros Knights deck that I played against. But like Aurelia hasn't been a card I've seen since those old like Mardu or Red White Angels lists from the original, or like from Ravnica before War with Spark, before Teferi came and was just like, huh, you're playing creatures. Need a land. Screw it. This looks like we're playing Cavalcade. Land. How many 1 mana artifacts can I cast before hitting my second land? Please land. Please land. Please land, please land, please land. I still can't play stuff, which is fun. This is very annoying. Okay, so this is the mono black. Sorry. Are you kidding me? How many cards do I have to draw? So we gotta get a Yara off the battlefield. This is silly. Like, you would assume we would be able to at least get out of that. So Frenzy here is probably cut down to Frenzy. Bonecrushers are fine. Tibalt stops the life gain. Hushbringer take out, not that good. So they have haste in the form of thing. Chamber Sentry seems kind of lackluster here, so we'll cut those down maybe. So they don't really go big in this deck, so this isn't as good. Bonecrusher, Tibalt. Ayara is going to gain them life. They're probably playing Cat Oven as well. Our deck's curve is like 1 point. Actually, now that I'm curious with that. Average converted mana cost is 1.79. Recommended lands 22. 2 lands keep. Snap keep. I'm getting the attack in first here because they can play like Knight of Even Legion. Gutter Bones, we get another attack in. So I want to see what the scry is first. If we want to keep it, then I want to hold off on these scries. Okay, so at this point I'm going to play... Hey Zeus, yeah, we're playing some Affinity Artifact Aggro. I would imagine, like for Flood, where I have a feeling a lot of times it's people not building their mana bases correctly or just not having enough draw. Like the biggest thing is when we don't have Frenzy out, should I like juke them and then sack this and then block? Just pass. We have the All That Glitters. I've been streaming for how long now? Probably like early 2019. My channel's from like December, but I wasn't doing too much on Twitch initially. I was doing more YouTube. And then we moved to, like I started doing Twitch once I got my new computer. And it's probably been about 8-9 months. It's part-time. Like I have a full 9 to 5 that I usually do, so we usually stream like weeknights, Tuesday, Thursday, sometimes Friday, and then I'll do it 1 or 2 days on the weekend. Usually like, so basically what I'm doing here, like an hour segment of a particular deck. I'll usually cover that. Alright, well, it's time for the glitter boys. Here's my 5/8. Fight me. 4 lands, we're flooding. So next turn I can actually give a flying and make it 7 power if we don't draw anything better. So today in Toronto is like the coldest day of the year so far. It's like minus 23 with wind chill, so I have my furnace going crazy and the heat vent is like right underneath my feet at the desk. So I have my computer generating a ton of heat in this. So it's like frigid outside but like boiling hot inside. No blocks here. 3 damage is fine. a Yara. Flood's real. Just playing out the lands, because if we draw something else, if we drop one of our 1-drops, I want to be able to play it. Plus, Stonecoil Serpent benefits from having more lands in play. Our position's really weak based on if they have Murderous Rider, which I'm assuming they're playing 2 to 4 of minimum. Like 2 min, I play 3 to 4. Your curve tops at Rankle in this build. Like, our board state's good against Priest. Like, we're bad against Legion's End, which they've already shown at least one of. Okay, so they have Rankle. Wonder if they attack in here. Okay, so they go all out. I think we just take it. What do you do here? Force us to sack? Let us draw. Let us draw. Embercleave wins. I think that's a pretty aggressive take by the opponent. So the thing is here, if they let us draw... Yeah, they have to let us draw, because the thing is, then Rankle's lethal and it forces us to hold back Locthwain. Because even Embercleave doesn't allow us to do the pump. Embercleave's exactly lethal too. Each player sacks creature. I feel like that's wrong. Cool. So do we go Bonecrusher here? So I can Bonecrusher their face. 3/4 they draw, so no. We actually have to... So I actually have to keep back and block, because the thing is they can attack, make us draw, and play a creature in the same turn. If they don't attack, then I could Bonecrusher their face. They might just try to grind us out here. You gonna attack? So I'm doing this because they'll likely sack, so that takes a blocker out of the way. So it's less damage that could be soaked up. I think they got us anyways because Cleave doesn't do it. Locthwain also doesn't do it. So I can still block Flyer. They need 2 creatures. They have 4 cards, they need 2 creatures. That's 1. And what I need to do to make sure... Yeah, that's 2. They got us. Wah, wah, wah. So I think we finished 2 and 3 with the deck. Yeah, because I would have been up Platinum 1. Kind of unfortunate with that first game, just never drawing the lands. So I like the elements of the deck. I think we want to go maybe up a Bonecrusher and drop the Chamber Sentry. I would probably drop down to 1 Chamber Sentry. Hushbringer was situationally good with the lifelink. And we probably want the full Frenzies. So I would go down 3 Chamber Sentries, up to 4 Bonecrushers, up to 4 Frenzy main. There are so many games, like if we had Frenzy, we probably would have just valued him out. And then Frenzy indirectly powering up all that glitters is also beneficial. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Going to grab some coffee, just take like 10-15. I'll probably be back around 2:50 p.m. right now. So probably around 3:10 Eastern, 3:15 Eastern. We'll be back. I got 2 more decks I want to play today for sure, and if there's anything else you'd like to see, do let me know. I have a Dimir Tempo deck, and then a blue-white kind of Hate Bears mid-range deck, so this is the deck that should be good against Fires. So we'll see how that works out in theory, first practice, and we'll take it from there. Anyways, for those who I can't catch, thanks for watching. If you do follow on Twitch, I'm going to be going around randomly giving out arena codes, thanks to Wizards. So it'll get you some Throne of Eldraine packs. I'll be doing it in the evening because there's about 100 unique codes that I got to PM everyone. So it's not even like a generic thing. Everyone's unique. So want to make sure everybody gets the ones that when we raffle them off. Anyways, thanks everyone and have a great one.